Welcome to episode 6 of the Caution Free podcast. I'm your host, Colton Sutley, along with Tim Friedhaber. Um, so Tim's pretty tired because he just woke up after watching the Chili Bowl last night. I would have said watching an awesome Chili Bowl, but it kind of fell flat. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. To start out, we're gonna go over some late model results from the past weekend and this weekend. We're recording this Sunday, January 4th or 14th, not 4th. And but so the Ice Bowl at the Talladega Short Track was January 5th and 6th, I believe. Um the first race of the year for anything. And Ryan Gustin was the winner of that feature. Oakley Johns was second and Christian Hanger was third. And then we this well started last week and then will actually the finale is tonight of the Wild West Shootout. There's been a lot of good racing out there. I've seen some highlights and watched a little bit of the race. And um, night one, K Diller swept the night and the super late models and the A mods. And then Bobby Pierce finished second and Garrett Alberson was third. And then on night two, Bobby Pierce won. Mike Marlar was second and Tyler Erb was third. Cade Dillard won the second night in a row in the A mods. Night three, Bobby Pierce won. Garrett Alberson was second. Shannon Babb was third. And then in the A mods, once again, Cade Dillard won. And then on the fourth night, Bobby Pierce uh won. Garrett Alberson was second once again. Cade Dillard was third. And then Kyle Larson went from the back of a B main, started 22nd in the A main, and then ended up driving up and finishing fifth, which was pretty impressive. I did watch that race and it was pretty cool to see him drive up through the field. And then Cade Dillard went 18th to third in A mods, which I thought was pretty impressive. And then last night, the fifth night, Barbie Pierce won again. So I think he gets, oh, I forget how much money he extra. I think it's like 25,000 extra money he will get if he can only win the 4 nights he's already won. But if he wins tonight, he'll get like 100,000 extra dollars for winning 5 of the 6 nights. Brandon Shepard was second, and then Stormy Scott was third. And then I did not check the A mods to see who did finish where, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cade Dillard drove up to the front or was up in the front again. And I only included the A mod results for him because it was pretty impressive what he was doing. And then no, night six is tonight. Like I said, um, it'll be interesting to see if Bobby Pierce can sweep again or not. He's continuing being a hot uh super late model driver this year like he was last year. 134 features last year and he's already got four within 1 week of racing. So, I mean, who knows how many he can get the rest of the year. It'll be interesting to see how Ricky Thornton Jr. does once he starts hopping in the late model and see if he can get close to 40 wins like he did last year.
Yeah, I didn't make that connection. Why did Ricky Thornton Jr. not run in the Wild West shootout? And he did the Chili Bowl instead, but what's the reasoning?
He just likes a chili bowl. He races like pretty much anything and everything. I think he ran over 100 races last year and like the micro, the midget, uh super late model,
Hmm.
UMP modified, like pretty much anything. He's kind of like like Kyle Larson where he'll like drive pretty much anything. And I hope someday he'll hop in a 410 sprint car and stuff. But we'll see if he actually does it or not.
Yeah.
But
So Chili Bowl was obviously this last week. Kyle Larson and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. were last minute entries with Keith Koontz and KKM. I always want to call it something else. Um,
Jesus.
No, I didn't mean that. I almost said KPM, not KKM.
Oh, okay.
You have
Okay.
a bad mind. Gonna get us canceled for that.
Well, I thought you were gonna get us canceled. Gee, well, what, all two listeners we have, my aunt and my cousin.
Never know, man. Um, so Monday night, I did not watch Monday night. I did watch Tuesday through Saturday, but Monday night, Tanner Carrick, Shane Golobic,
All
and
but
Michael Pickens, Golobic, whatever,
yeah.
were
And then
top three in that order. And the track
yeah,
didn't actually suck this night.
yeah, and Tanner Carrick actually had to go to work the next day. So I'm guessing he flew back to California where he's from and worked until like probably like Friday and then flew back, which is crazy. And then Tuesday night, Buddy Ford won. He dominated. Hank, hometown favorite, Hank Davis finished second, and then Chase McDermott was third.
Wednesday night, Corey Day was number one, just killed the field the entire night. Started second, and then A-Man finished first. Passed him like, I don't know, it was like lap three. Led the rest of the A-Man. Jake Swanson was second, and Briggs Danner was third.
Yeah, did you see how Corey Day's motor and that midget is 19 years old and he's
Yeah,
18?
yeah,
That's pretty badass. And
yeah.
Briggs Danner, Briggs Danner is a PA boy out from like Eastern PA, Central PA. Runs a lot of 360 wingless stuff out
Briggs
there.
Danner ended
But
up transferring to the A-Man because Cannon McIntosh took out Timez and the
yeah,
B-Man.
yeah, and that was pretty wild. And then Thursday night, Spencer Bayston won. After flipping Sunday in practice, he ended up going out Thursday night and dominating. And it's funny because he flipped in the pool shuffle on Saturday, and they actually had to weld and bend the frame back into place, and he ended up finishing eighth in the A main, so that's pretty good for like basically having to have so much work done. And then Tanner Thorson was second not on Thursday night, and followed by Chase Johnson. And then uh Tim's I'll do Friday night too, since you added something special for Saturday. Um Friday night, Logan Seavey won. He won the Race of Champions on Monday as well. So that, kind of precursor to the rest of the week, I guess. And then Ryan Timms was second, and then Andrew Felker was third. And then Tim, you can take over for Saturday.
Yeah, so Saturday, the A-Man, Colton was very confident that Buddy Kofoid was going to win it all. And Logan Seavey passed him on the first lap. And then or no, Buddy led. A caution came out after Seavey had passed. Or let me repeat this. Buddy started first, CB started second. Buddy was leading. CB passed him. Buddy passed him back. Didn't complete the lap, and then CB led the rest of the ways to go ahead and win the race, with Buddy being second and Corey Day being third. And I would just like to say that I knew that was going to happen. Big money, baby. Give me that dough.
Yeah, I like how you said the big money part, like after when in our notes you put it before. I like this morning, I'm like, I don't remember putting that. I'm like, I couldn't have been that tired. I like that, like just put it in and forgot. But yeah, the track was phenomenal all week, even most of the day
Except for Saturday.
Saturday. But I guess usually they do a big rework before the A, and usually doesn't do enough to make it exciting. They wanted to try something different, so they just let it be, and it was good for a little bit, and then it just I
It was single file racing for 30 laps.
Yeah, just wish the top would have stuck around a little longer and stuff, but it is what it is. But Zach Hampton, he's a great follow on Twitter for people if you don't know, but he tweeted, I think it was last night. I can't remember, but he said two things. He has two things he wished like all forms of open wheel dirt racing would adopt. Double file restarts with choose cone preferred without is cool too until 10 to go, halfway in heats slash consolations. So I think that makes sense. His whole point there is because he just wants it to stay competitive and more interesting for fans because it's harder to make a run to the front from the back when like you do single file restarts with no passing before the cone because everybody can just get ahead of you like CV did to Buddy. And then another his second point was leader plus one completes the lap. Anything else is extremely dumb in my opinion. That's what he tweeted, not exactly what I would say, but I agree with that because like the top like once the top two go by, it should count. And then because what if the lap car the car is like right in front of the leaders. So you're telling me that car wrecks coming out of turn four after the leaders would have completed like two laps by then if they passed the lap car and it just would have went back to two laps ago. They need to find a better way because it's like the guy that's like clear in the back just coming out in turn two racks going into three while the leaders are just in now in turn two is kind of bull crap. And Buddy was like, they like almost completed like two damn laps, him and CV before the caution was out.
I think you're just upset that Buddy lost and CV won.
No, I would agree with this about any. I've seen this happen plenty of times in other racing. I've seen guys get robbed of a B main transfer spot in an outlaw race because a checkered flag flew and then the caution flew at the same time, and then those guys didn't pass the finish line yet, or they didn't count. They counted as a caution stops there while the guy passed coming to the line and they reverted back to the previous lap for those guys, and then a guy got robbed of a transfer spot, even though he passed them coming to the checkered, all because some guy wrecked in turn three.
That's true. Well,
Like
it's not on here, but I think we should talk about Cannon McIntosh taking out Timez on the last lap of the B main when they were both in transfer spots.
he didn't know though. He like genuinely didn't know he was in a transfer spot, and T-Mez said he would do the same exact thing if he was in his spot because T-Mez didn't even know he was in a transfer spot or not. He was just
Timez didn't
like
even
he
know it
said
was
he
the
was.
last lap.
And I'm sure a lot of people didn't know it was the last lap. Like, I mean, hey, T-Mez, his motto is slide or die. That's how all the midget drivers drive. I mean, the only thing is, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal if him and Cannon didn't already have beef from before. They both said words about each other before, and of course, it's those two find each other like magnets. It's
Well, it was a weird turn of events. Can't drive Cannon wrecks him. Then Cannon McIntosh wrecks in the A main, almost wrecks half the field in the process. Leaves after being in 11th. Timaz almost gets kicked out for throwing his steering wheel at an official after he got sprayed in the face by a fire extinguisher. Then
he
they
said
let him
it was a
back
ratchet
in.
trap.
Well, I don't care what it was. He still
Yeah.
got kicked out, let back in. His
Well,
crew
I guess
chief went to battle for him.
I saw that the guy that Emmett Hahn that puts on the Tulsa shootout in a Chili Bowl, he was the one that overrode having him kicked out. He like said bring him back in I guess is what I saw. But I mean, I don't know. That's just midget racing, and it's a Chili Bowl. I'm surprised that if Buddy could have got a little bit closer to CV, he might have bumped him and spun him and went for the win. Tanner Thorson last year said he would have done that to CV had he not already won the Chili Bowl the year before and been friends with CV. But like if it was his first time, like hadn't won a Chili Bowl, Thorson said he would have wrecked CV for the win because it was single file right behind each other, but he decided to race respectfully, which is, admirable. But I mean, even if I won one Chili Bowl already, I'm going for the second. Like I'm going to spin that guy out. I don't care personally. I mean, it's a goddamn Chili Bowl.
Well, Buddy said in his interview that he rode the top too hard and had virtually nothing left on his tire. So once the track took rubber, there was basically nothing he could do unless CV made multiple mistakes. And he said that his he said Buddy's mistakes were more than CV's mistakes, and that's what cost him the race. But
Yeah,
he did also
me and
say
my
that he
dad.
was faster on the curb or on the high side, but he just couldn't get his car to stay planted half the time.
Yeah, watching that, me and my dad both noticed that Buddy's car just seemed loose, especially compared to like CV's, and it's probably because he wore his tires out a little quicker and stuff and
Mm-hmm.
didn't have as much. But I mean, even from the beginning, he just kind of looked off. Like the car just didn't look like he had that much control of it, to me at least. But
I
I
thought
mean,
on the high side he was faster, but a lot of the announcers were also talking that they're using a completely different tire this year. And um,
yeah,
if Buddy were to race the way he did this year with last year's tire compound, he would have just killed everybody.
yeah, it was a harder compound this year.
Yeah.
Um, but they've said they've like used that compound before, or at least it was an option to use before or something. So it's not like that. Maybe some of the younger guys might not have experienced that tire, but like KKM definitely has. I mean, they've been bringing like a dozen midgets to the Chili Bowl for like ever, I think. I mean, but yeah, but dude, Logan, my my dad said it's just hard to beat the Swindells in that at a Chili Bowl in that building because they just know. Like, look at how many Sammy's won and Kevin's won. And the reason Kevin has his own midget now and isn't still paired up with Sammy is because he wanted to, update and upgrade like the newer equipment. And Sammy still wanted to run the same ones. And once Kevin updated to the stuff he wanted, I mean, he's won two in a row now. So, I mean,
Sammy is
I,
still, he almost made a run though to make the transfer, but he did
Yeah,
something stupid.
I forget which main he ended up
He,
finishing in. I
I,
don't think he made it to a
it wasn't
D.
the A main, huh?
I don't think he
Oh,
even made it to a D main.
no, but
I think he ran through like two or three
in
different
his
mains.
prelim night, he did something really stupid during his heat race and had to go like C main to B main and then did something. I forget what he did in the B main, but it was just really dumb. He went to like slide and just like slid the whole way up onto the curb and ended up like last in the B main.
Yeah, but like Kevin just knows how he won a golden driller at the Tulsa shootout back when they were go-karts. He won one last year with Gavin Bochelle and Mike one of the micros. He won four Chili Bowls as a driver, and he's won two as an owner.
Mm-hmm.
They made shirts last year saying Tulsa King with his face on it, and I mean he is a Tulsa King. But then when you have a driver like Logan Seavey, that you just it's unbeatable, and
Well,
I
they said what
so
Logan Seavy's won like 6 races in that building too, or something.
I'm not sure how many he's won, but I know from last year's Chili Bowl to this year's Chili Bowl, like just going off of, I saw USAC tweeted this, but
Hmm.
just to show how dominant of a year from Chili Bowl to Chili Bowl he's had. So he won a Chili Bowl last year. He won. He's a USAC Silver Crown champ, the USAC National Midget champ, the USAC Indiana Midget Week champ. He won two USAC races in one day at two tracks this year. I believe that was the Silver Crown race and the midget race. He did the Four Crown USAC sweep, so he won all three USAC divisions at the Four Crown Nationals at Eldora, and then he won a Chili Bowl again.
Yeah, dominating.
Like what made Kyle Larson blow up and go into NASCAR was him winning the doing the USAC sweep of the Silver Crown. Oh, not a Silver
Hmm.
Crown, of the Four Crowns.
Yeah,
And Logan Seavey's not he's not blowing up like that. And I don't know why, but he should be. I mean, with how dominant he's had of a year. I mean, maybe it's because they don't have the speed channel anymore. Like
yeah.
that was pretty big back when Larson was like blowing up, but I don't know.
I think there's one guy that we haven't talked about that we should probably talk about is Persley, who went from
Oh
the
yeah.
D main to finishing fourth in the A main.
Yeah, Dason Persley. And you
Yeah,
know what's crazy?
started 20th.
Yeah, a couple years ago, he uh he was in a midget race out at like in Arizona or something, and he like I can't remember if it was his neck or back. He like broke it like a couple of vertebrae or something in his neck
Hmm.
or back, and like they didn't know if he like was gonna be paralyzed or anything. And then he like did rehab, and then he ended up popping back in a car and stuff. And I mean, it's just amazing to have him be able to do that. And then he's still one of the top young drivers in the open wheel world. I mean, I think he ran the USAC sprint cars full time last year. I don't think he does too much midget stuff anymore besides like the BC 39 and the Chili Bowl, but he's a wheel man, and it was amazing to see that. I mean, the track couldn't have been too terrible if he made it up 16 spots,
I mean,
like but like
he
up front it just wasn't
no.
up front it wasn't good. I mean, and I was hoping once they got to lap traffic, maybe, and then that caution came out, and I was like, okay, maybe this is like Buddy's chance. But when there was
What?
14 to go, I think that's when he should have started going. But then, like you
Yeah,
said in his interview, he might not have had any more to give.
but he had a terrible restart on that caution too. Like Logan just pulled away from him. If anything, I thought Corey Day may have passed Buddy for a second, but what are you gonna do? But honestly, I think the only
Yeah.
reason that Persley went 20th to fourth is because he was just ripping the high side for 15 laps, and then after that, all the cars behind him had no tire left either.
I don't know because I saw him a couple times going like down it, like just like basically like fourth on back, I think was just like a hornet's nest. Cars like
Hmm.
everywhere. So I think he was just going in and out around them, and guys were just making mistakes, and he was just hitting his marks
That's
and
true.
stuff. But I mean, sometimes I wish they would have did double screen like and showed both like Persley coming up for the field and that because it kind of sucks sometimes when you don't see guys coming up for the field when you're
Yeah.
watching like on Flow or Dirt Vision. But like while you're like at a track, you can kind of see it coming and stuff. So I'm sure it would have been awesome to have been there and watch Persley coming up from the back. But I mean, on watching on Flow, it was a pretty good snoozer.
That was something. So the pickup challenge score was 3-3. I think it should be 2-4 because the final nine should count as two. But Who knows?
No, because I don't know. I'll check the rules that we had last year and see if that's what it says for like I'll use like the Knoxville Nationals as an example, because I know we did a pick'em challenge after the Chili Bowl, but I think we just counted it as one, but I could double check. Actually, we might not even done the Knoxville Nationals because I'm not sure if we did or not, but like the final night of the Nationals. But
Hmm.
yeah, so far we're tied up. Um we're not gonna pick this week because as you will see there's not any big any of the national touring series racing for the midgets and sprint cars and stuff. So we'll just do it for that. And I mean, that just makes it a little easier and not do like the 20 races I was making us do a week last year.
Yeah,
And
that's not
that was
happening.
fun. Now it was fun, but it was a lot, and that's why I gave up in like August.
It was
And
it was fun for a while.
yeah. Um, so there's been some racing in Australia. We said we talked last week, we might talk about some results. Um, so this past week, on January 9th, they were at Lismore. Luke Oldfield won, Jock Goodyear was second, and Brody Davis was third. And then January 12th at Avalon Raceway, Carson Macedo won, Marcus Dumsney was second, and Cam Waters was third. Um, Yeah, so Carson Macedos has a couple wins down under, and then Jock Goodyear, he's been killing it all year down there. I mean he's the number one. He's driving the Australia number one car for a reason because he was a Australian champ last year. Not he needs to come over to the States and drive. Actually, a lot of the Australian guys I think need to somehow find a way to come over in the States and race because they are there's a lot of freaking good drivers down there.
Yeah. So just in general, racing news. Sam Seawright is going to race the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series full time this year. Um, but he is teaming up with Roth Motorsports, which he ran like the last, I don't know, however many races last year with them.
Yeah,
In
he
their
ran
second,
he ran yeah, he ran like a true outlaw schedule with them
yeah.
some last year.
He's running full time with the Outlaws now. Um, Tony Jackson Jr. is running the Capitol House car with the Lucas Oil late models, competing for Rookie of the Year. Uh, and then Shane Clayton just took over the ownership of Capital Race Cars.
Yeah, he
Uh,
used to drive their house car. The It used to be like a red 25 and now it's going to be like a white 25 with Tony
hmm.
Jackson Jr. driving it. Looks like a really nice looking car, but I mean, my super late model uh source has not heard of Tony Jackson Jr. So I guess he's like out west, I heard, I guess. But see how well he does.
Kyler Johnson is back with the ASCS National Tour. Carson McCarl is teaming up with Beaver Race Team, and that schedule is coming soon. Ryan Timms is racing for KKM in the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series. Hopefully his car doesn't fall apart in the A main again. He uh he had a wonderful experience in the Chili Bowl. His car just looked like crap. What did
I
you
mean,
think?
dude, I don't even remember how well what happened to him in the hey man.
He started like fifth and finished like 13th. His car just
Yeah,
like was flat the whole time.
well, I mean, sometimes you just miss on stuff or stuff goes away faster because KKM also had Buddy up front and second. So, I mean, they had like 14 cars. So, I mean, if they mess up on like one, like It's understandable.
Yeah,
But
they had Kyle Larson's chassis, and he basically trashed that thing in the matter of 8 hours.
yeah.
Go ahead,
Um
sorry.
so Devin Borden, he'll be driving a Grove Racing 45 in February with the high limit and the king of the 360s. It's the deal just for just not like because he's going to be with Steinman Motorsports for the rest of the year and number 23, you know, he'll probably I think
Mhm.
they're just planning on racing like Port Royal, Williams Grove, maybe travel just a dab, you know. You'll probably see him at like the Silver Cup and a Commonwealth Clash this year. Um, Darren Nada is gonna run for Team DGRD and their 360 weekly at Knoxville. He's a pretty decent young guy from like the Ohio, Michigan area, so it's cool to see that he's getting an opportunity like that. Um, but yeah, so there was some big news. Pretty much the biggest news was Buddy going to the Outlaws and Ryan Timms racing in the Extreme Midgets. I think he ran full time with the USAC last year, USAC Midgets with KKM. But that kind of, I mean, I thought I had heard he was running with KKM for full time in the midget, so I thought that eliminated him from like the high limit, uh, running with them or the Outlaws. But he'll probably still hit a bunch of sprint car races with his
Mhm.
family-owned team. I mean, like they did last year, so wouldn't be surprised if they like hit some big money shows. It's like maybe the Silver Cup or the Commonwealth Clash if the midget schedule works out okay. And then some races coming up this week. The World of Outlaw late models kick off the season at Volusia, January 18th to the 20th. It's the start off for the Florida Speed Weeks, which is like literally like the whole month of January and February, it seems like for the late models at a bunch of different Florida tracks. Um, the first night's 10K to win, the second night's 12K, and the finale is 15K. And then the Winter Nationals at East Bay kick off the 18th to the 20th as well. And then it's the Top Gun series, which is a 360 sprint car series. I've never heard of the series, but should be some good racing down there and that. But yeah, that's all the races coming up. I mean, you got anything else you want to add to any of the stuff we've talked about?
No, no, I will say I caved and bought Flow Racing this week, and along with buying Flow Racing, realized I can't get Flow Racing on my smart TV, so I bought a Roku too. So now I'm out about $200 to watch the damn Chili Bowl.
But it'll be worth it in the end, dude. Like how much
Yeah,
you get to watch all the Lucas Oil races this month and next month, all the high limit races, USAC races, IRA sprints, and you got some asphalt racing too, and like they have a different racing on sometime once in a while, and then you can
it's
watch like
true.
their other sports as well if you want to watch like D3 or D2 basketball or football or
It's true.
golf. But
This is true.
so do you want to do
I don't have an
the
answer for it yet.
okay. I mean, I think we've been running for about 30, 40 minutes, so I think we'll save those for another time. Probably next weekend since there won't be as much racing to talk about.
Hmm.
Um, but so yeah, this is episode 6. Uh, comment, like, subscribe, follow, rate 5 stars, whatever, share. Um, just, get out to a racetrack if you live close to one of these race tracks that are actually running right now. But if not, just, tune in on Flow or Dirt Vision or whatever you have, or just go on Twitter and look, look at results. But yeah, just It's supposed to get real cold this week, so stay warm if you're in Pennsylvania. So, and that's about it for me.
Yeah, it's already cold in West Virginia, so
Well, it's already cold here. It's like 11. My watch says it's 11 degrees. So,
oh yeah, a little colder there. It's 20 here.
yeah, it's supposed to be like that all week. So, we're gonna, my family, we're gonna make a lot of soup for this week. So,
Makes
stay nice
sense.
and warm.
Cool.
All right, that's it. See ya.